Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me for another weekly card drawing. I am drawing these cards for the collective, for all of us, for the coming week. And I'm using the Power of Surrender cards by Judith Orloff. And this week I thought I'd also draw a Power Animal Oracle card by Stephen Farmer. And I absolutely love his book. I reference his book a lot. It's Stephen Farmer. I believe it's Animal Spirit Guide book. And, anytime you have an animal that comes up in dream, or if you have an animal that crosses your path several times, or if you have an unusual experience with an animal, we see cardinals. I think I've talked to this before. We see cardinals all the time, but this one cardinal really stood out, or, whatever the animal is. And you can look that up. I use it a lot because I get a lot of animals in dreams. And so I like wake up and like, ooh, I have to remember that. And real quick, write it down and then look up that animal. Or if you do any journeying, animals that kind of come through in journeys. I know in my classes I have people pull animal cards, the oracle cards, and look up and have them look up what that meaning is for them. So really helpful book. Anyway, so I thought I'd draw one of those cards as well for the collective, for all of us for this week. And I'm actually going to start there. And so the Power Animal Oracle card that came up, I drew it right before I recorded this, was Hawk. And Hawk is focus, choose your priorities, and eliminate all distractions. So I'm just going to read this to you. Look at all the choices before you and select one to which you're willing to give your passionate attention. Once you decide, the right action to take becomes immediately apparent, and life supports you and provides what you need. You can then arrange all your priorities around that which you've chosen, set personal boundaries, and practice self-care when and where needed. If you don't, you could easily get overwhelmed and fragmented, and your power will become scattered and diffused. Let go of all those habitual diversions that you've made so important. It's time to go to work on the priority you choose and let it flow. The practice of staying focused is in itself a meditation, and this is how you can best express the gifts of service you have to offer the world and your creator. So prioritize, focus, and let's see what the Power of Surrender cards have to say and see how they come together. So, surrender frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. So I love her. Her cards are really beautiful too. To me, I can see how they go hand in hand when we try to place our attention on. There's so much going on in the world and in our personal lives. We all have our own personal things that we're dealing with, and then we look around the world and there's so much going on, and it's easy to become scattered, and it's easy to become frustrated from that. So I see how they go together here this week. And as we see more headlines, more news lines that come up, really taking the time, say, okay, what is most important for me? What do I need to focus on and prioritize right now? Because when we start to pay attention, like, oh my gosh, this over here, and oh my gosh, that over there, and oh geez, this over here, and we start to get really scattered and overwhelmed, and then it's like we're spinning our wheels. Not only are we unable to do anything helpful, as an external reality, but our mental wheels start spinning, in our thoughts, and it's very hard to stay focused and centered. There are a lot of lovely meditations. This really goes along, especially the Hawk goes along with that mindfulness training. For those of you that have taken any loving kindness meditations with Bhante Soma, really beautiful practice. But it's basically you send love You send well-being, peace, may you be free from suffering, those messages of love, and sending that to yourself first. And from that point, then you can send it out into your friends and family. Out, I always like to include like strangers, someone that you just see, that you met, that you're neutral about. And if you want to take the practice even further, you can send it out into the world. You can send it out to a person who you have friction with, or a situation that you have friction with, whether it's someone in your personal life or someone in the headlines. And it really does make a difference. It helps you focus. It helps you get your priorities straight, as far as what's in your life. Otherwise, we just end up spinning our wheels and staying stuck in that frustration and that feeling like we can't do anything, or don't know where to turn. So really allowing yourself to go inward and create that focus, that connection with spirit as well, and receiving guidance in that way to help you move forward in a direction. And what can I do? How can I help? Where are my priorities here? So nice. So there's a little tip that I wanted to share with you as well for those of you who are working on increasing your intuition. And it's super fun. So you can take, if you have any animal cards, you can use this with, some people have tarot decks. You can use this, any oracle cards that you have. You can even use it with a plain deck of cards. It's so much more fun for me with animals and animal cards. And also because, we can really feel into the essence of, it's more of an emotional attachment, which can be important when you're really using your intuition to have an emotional attachment to things. So my suggestion would be to take these cards. You can even make up your own if you want. I made up my own angel cards a while ago, and that's been fun to play with. I do tend to draw those up, or draw one a day. But just limit yourself to maybe 3 or 4. Okay, and so you'll want to know, so these are the ones that just came up now, like cougar, fox, black panther, hawk. Okay, so you just pick 3 or 4 and study them. Just really check them out, really look at them, really feel into the essence of that card, whether it's you're using message cards, or if you're using animals, and really feel into the essence of hawk, essence of Black Panther. And so then you're going to shuffle just those 3 or 4 cards, shuffle them around, mix them up, and then pick one out of the group and place it down, and see if you can figure out which one of the 3 or 4 cards, like by holding it, by just feeling into the energy of that card, going, okay, which card is this? And so you've already looked at them. You only have 3 or 4 choices. And so just see which one comes up. See if you can decide just from feeling that card and feeling the energy of that card. And just a fun little game. And it was hawk again. So just seeing what... it's a fun little game just to practice. And the other aspect, of increasing your intuition, especially when you're learning to practice or learning animal communication, is to learn to have fun with it, because that seriousness really just stops the flow. It allows, that flow, laughter, lightness. It allows the messages to come in. It allows for that creative flow, which is so important for your intuition. So please just have fun with it. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any suggestions or any questions about just animal communication in general, any topics that you'd like me to discuss, please feel free to message me on Facebook, Melaluna Studios, or my personal Facebook, Dawn Artool, and or you can text 717-486-7823. And I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you.